Do you remember that?
Do you remember there used to be a cancer called cervical cancer?
Do you remember that?
there used to be?
Remember we used to talk about that?
That would be so freaking cool. Let's make that happen.
Seriously, let me ask you about that since now we're going here. Dating. So anybody could Google Christine Baze. I mean, you're so descriptive of your vagina.
Everybody knows my hooch. They're like, oh, it's your hooch.
So what's that
I've
like?
seen that.
What's
Smiling
that like?
cervix I'm talking about. You know, it is challenging. You know, I'm not going to lie. It's still like a little weird. And also because I was married, I was with my ex-husband, Robert, from dating to divorce for 17 years. And so to be single, getting through divorce after cancer, and now being fresh on the market, but I'm not fresh at all, and I'm not like normal.
Mm-hmm. Are any of us normal? Normal is so boring.
But it's like when I meet someone, they're like, "What do you do?"
Mm-hmm.
So for me,
I go around the world talking about
my vagina. It's like, okay, they'll see you later, and I wonder why I don't have a boyfriend. You know what I mean? And I just, you know, we laugh about it and stuff, but really, like, watching you find Rocky and have a family, like, it is so inspiring to see that, because it is lonely when you are with your body and the aftermath, and you're just trying to figure it out for yourself. And for me, dating and, you know, seeing if maybe one day I'll find a partner that'll want to ride this umbrella with me. You know, within the first few minutes of meeting me, they're going to learn that I can't have babies. You know, that every day I do go talk to strangers. Well, not every day, but almost, on the web and stuff. Like, every day I'm talking about cervical cancer and the impact it has had on my life and on the people that love me, my family.
Yeah.
Because cancer is not just about us. It's like everybody that loves us goes through that trauma with us. And it's, you know, sex. People have a hard time talking about sex. And it's like so important in a person's life for people to feel connected.
Right.
And I feel like for us to be able to have this conversation, and for us to do it with our other survivor sisters, and then to bring it to the next level, to the larger context.
So the more I learned, the more I started to realize that there were actually things that women could do to prevent it. And it blew my mind. I was like, oh my gosh, we know what causes this cancer? HPV, human papillomavirus. And there's an HPV test, and a woman can be given this test, and then she can know whether or not she's carrying the HPV virus and whether or not she is at risk. Like, that is so cool. If you know that you have the virus, you can watch it and you can be monitored more closely so that you catch it before it becomes invasive. You don't have to lose a thing.
Because there are, thankfully, going to be more and more survivors.
Right.
Because people are being more proactive, getting their screenings more regularly, have access to this vaccine, you know what I mean? But that piece doesn't go away. So I'm 14 years out, I'm going to be 15 years out in April.
And I'll be 14 out in April.
It's crazy that we're that far along.
Yeah.
And we're still talking about how we don't function totally correctly all the time.
You know what term I hate? I get it and it makes sense, but I don't care for it. New normal. Because it is new, but there's nothing normal about it.
It's totally true.
You know, and you, for me, it's like, I survived cancer, and then I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to go back to work, I'm going to go back to my life, go to happy hour with my friends, you know.
Go to the gym,
you know, just enjoy my life.
Go to the gig.
But it's like you're in a fog, you're lost, and you're trying to get out this maze, and you can't get out, and you just want to go back in time, but you can't.
It'll never be the same.
And that's the truth.
It will never.
There's some things that will be the same, but your life, it won't be the same. And I think that's the hardest message that I have to break to cancer patients.
Yeah.
because they're desperately like, when I end this, like, my life is going to be back to normal. Like, when
I'll just get through it, and then I'll just close this chapter, and it'll be like it never happened.
And it's a traumatic experience. I don't care if it's stage 0, pre-cancer, stage 4, whatever.
Absolutely, I agree. There's no light cancer.
Yeah.
There's no easy cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's, sure, statistically, there are some cancers that are, you've got more of treatment options and you've got longer survival rates. But the word cancer is the word cancer. You know what I mean?
And just hearing that word is traumatic enough.
Boom, right there. Let alone then you go through the physical, the psychosocial, the emotional, and that's as a therapist, talking also about depression that can come immediately, during, after.
And I don't know if people know that you are a licensed therapist.
Licensed marriage and family therapist, and that's what I was doing before cancer. And then I just stopped doing that as a job to pursue my music career. Mm-hmm. And then 3 months later was diagnosed with cancer. But now I've returned to being a therapist, and so I'm a therapist and an advocate. And part of my advocacy, I've always tried to include that emotional piece, because I know for me as a therapist, I really understand a lot about depression and anxiety and PTSD, but I had not personally felt those things till cancer. And to be able to talk to people and be connected to people through the young adult movement or through Airmen Angels and the other people that we meet along the way, that emotional piece, I think, is also something that needs to continually be addressed, because I know that once I was in a depression, that was so freaking dark. I was like, whoa, this sucks. And I'm like, oh my God, this is not good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then to get on an antidepressant and get a therapist and join a group and talk to others, that did help heal me. And today and every day when we share our stories with one another, it does help us heal those scars, those wounds a little bit each time, but it's still surreal for me, you know what I mean? It's still like, I can't believe that we're having this conversation, even though we still have had this conversation a million times.
We're just having it now for everyone else. So let me ask you this. So they're passing you by in the street and they're just like, what's up with her? Like,
all the time, because I've got a yellow bug, that's the base plate, I've got my Save the Hooch stickers on the side of the car. They're like, who are you? And I'm like, I'm that girl.
So 30 seconds, only 30 seconds. Who is Christine Baze? Who is all of this?
Christine Baze is a cervical cancer survivor, musician, advocate, therapist, woman who is grateful for her life and wants to bring meaning and joy and happiness to myself and to everybody around me from now till the day I kick it.
And I was in every newspaper, like my face and my story, and my music was being talked about and being played on the radio. And I was on the radio and I was on TV. People were coming to talk to me and wanted to hear what I had to say. And I said, I want this to continue.
What makes Christine Baze happy?
You.
Besides me, honestly.
Harold, my little dog. Hugs. The piano music.
What makes
feeling
Christine,
like I made a difference.
What makes Christine Baze sad?
Being lonely. Being alone. When my body isn't cooperating correctly. And I feel like I'm always going to have to do it alone. Yeah. I think that's for me right now. And I think it's changed over the years. I think as we grow and we evolve as people, and as advocates and everything. I don't know that answer would have been the same 5 years ago or 10 years ago.
I'll co-sign it.
You know what I mean? Right now, that's the lonely factor. That's what makes me sad.
You're never alone when you have us.
No.
There's a lot of people who love you.
No, and seriously, as I didn't have anybody to talk to, you know what I mean? And for us to find each other and to choose to stick with each other tenaciously on this path through the ups and downs, all through it all, we have weathered this storm together. You know what I mean?
Christine, and we always will. We always will. Christine Baze, 10 years from now. should be rocking out like this.
I hope I'll still be wearing my sparkly Uggs and some yellow. Yeah, man, 10 years from now, I want to be having the same conversation, and I want us to say, wow, look at how these numbers have dropped in cervical cancer. I want us to have an army of survivors that are all like, yeah, T and Baze, we started this stuff. You know, I would love to have someone at my side that wants to rock that with me. But even if that doesn't happen, I know that I do have you, and I've got my family, and I've got my friends. You know, so it's like, you gotta rock what you got. So 10 years from now, it's just gonna be that much bigger and better.
You gotta rock what you got. She is Christine Baze. She is a pioneer in the cervical cancer awareness movement. Check her out. We love you. Rock it out, Baze.
Love you, T.
Survivor TV, it's a wrap.